Think about the fact that a massive energy has been hidden right beneath our feet for thousands of years. An energy that could light up cities without even needing a single wire. Now imagine this secret is hidden in a place we all know. Here are the pyramids of Egypt. But a stranger mystery is that in the dark depths of a cave in France, paintings have been found that depict stars which were not discovered until thousands of years later, even with modern telescopes. But how are these things possible? Or consider the statues of Easter Island, a remote island in the South Pacific Ocean where only the heads were visible. It was later discovered that these statues have massive bodies buried in the ground. It's interesting to know that these figures are full of symbols that seem to tell a completely different story from what we know about the world around us. Or if I tell you that near Greece, a 5,000-year-old underwater city has been found with artifacts that rival modern computers, would you believe it? Of course, I exaggerated a bit, I know. I'm talking about the Antikythera mechanism. A complex mechanical device found in a shipwreck near the island of Antikythera. Or forget that. What if I tell you there's a valley in Yellowstone Park in the USA where it seems like time has frozen? Because it's a place where vegetation from the Ice Age still grows in the world. Stranger still, these are just a few of the discoveries that challenge all of history. But perhaps the greatest secret among them is hidden beneath the pyramids of Egypt, where researchers have recently discovered things that could change our entire understanding of the past. Just recently, a team of researchers using ground-penetrating radar called Center Aperture Radar managed to discover something that no one had noticed until now. A vast network of tunnels and chambers that extends up to 2 kilometers beneath the pyramids of Egypt. Of course, this claim has not yet been confirmed by any reputable scientific or official archaeological institution. The ground beneath the Giza area is naturally limestone, and digging or constructing at a depth of 2 kilometers is both technically and historically very unlikely. But we want to see exactly what this news we talked about is addressing. Perhaps this matter is real or even a conspiracy theory. As we were researching this topic further, we realized that this claim was published without credible documentation and is present on YouTube channels with a mysterious theme or on pseudo-scientific websites like Gaia before its news and ancient origins. But let's unpack this claim a bit. According to this claim, when they came to examine these secret buildings, they found something that bore no resemblance to ordinary tombs. These tunnels and chambers were constructed in such a way that it seemed they were designed for a specific purpose, not merely for burying pharaohs. But the most shocking thing was the designs and hieroglyphs on the walls of these tunnels. Now you might ask, what exactly is a hieroglyph? A hieroglyph is actually a type of pictorial piece that the ancient Egyptians used for writing. In this system, each symbol or shape could represent a letter, a word, or even a complete concept. It's interesting to know that the Egyptians used more than 700 different symbols, but in today's world, no one could read them until a French scholar named Jean-François Champollion managed to decipher them. Of course, hieroglyphs were specific to kings and priests, or the clergy, and ordinary people used a simpler script called Demotic. In short, the hieroglyphs found on the walls of the underground tunnels of the Egyptian pyramids depicted stars and constellations that could only be seen with modern telescopes. Therefore, the question arises how a civilization that existed 5,200 years ago could have precise knowledge of celestial bodies recognized in the last few hundred years. But a challenging question that has recently been raised is whether the pyramids of Egypt were built to generate wireless electricity. This is also an intriguing idea, but at present, it is just a fringe and controversial theory. This claim suggests that we have always thought the pyramids were merely the tombs of pharaohs, but new research indicates that these structures could have functioned like a power plant. According to this theory, the pyramids can absorb and concentrate electromagnetic waves. This means it is possible that these structures had some form of technology for wireless energy transmission, exactly like the idea that Nikola Tesla proposed in the 20th century. In fact, Tesla had indeed carefully designed a project called Tesla's Desert for this purpose, truly aiming to transmit energy wirelessly over long distances. This idea was criticized at the time, and his colleagues considered it impossible and impractical. But today, many of Tesla's research and achievements continue to inspire researchers and engineers to invent new technologies in the field of wireless energy transmission. In summary, the theory of wireless electricity transmission by the Egyptian pyramids was taken seriously when it was discovered that there were no traces of soot or fire around the pyramids for lighting inside them. This means if they didn't use torches or oil lamps, how did they illuminate the inside of these dark structures? Does this mean that it is possible that ancient Egypt used some kind of electric lamps? It's interesting to know that the Dendera light bulb hieroglyph, which is one of the most famous and mysterious ancient artifacts of Egypt, was discovered in the Dendera temple in Egypt. This theory gives it strength. In fact, this image, which resembles a lamp with a halo of light, is a symbol of artificial light and even a tool for producing light. Of course, this is an interpretation. It is very famous. But many Egyptologists say that the image is a religious or mythological symbol, not a real lamp. So it is more of a symbolic artistic interpretation than evidence of advanced technology. Now, it's interesting to know that scientists say this might not have been just a regular electricity generation system. Some have even suggested that this could have been a method of communication with extraterrestrial beings. On the walls of the underground tunnels, pictorial lines have been found that depict stars and astronomical configurations, which bear a great resemblance to modern discoveries made by advanced telescopes. These images show stars and planets whose positions exactly matched our current data. And all of this indeed raises the question of how people 5,000 years ago could have known about celestial objects and bodies that can only be identified with today's incredibly advanced technology. Among these pictorial lines, some patterns were very strange. They illustrated images that, in fact, resembled today's spacecraft and satellites. This led some experts to suggest that perhaps the ancient Egyptians were in contact with an advanced space civilization or had themselves developed technology that we still know nothing about. But the next mystery of the Egyptian pyramids also relates to the hidden chambers that were discovered in 2017. This is completely real and proven, and there has been a lot of discussion about it. In fact, an international research team was remarkably able to use advanced nanotechnology, which is incredibly used for imaging the internal structures of large and previously inaccessible objects, to discover a completely hidden and undetected chamber inside the Egyptian pyramids. This chamber, which is approximately 30 meters long, has no clear entrance or exit. But what was it built for? Well, some theorists say that this might have been a secret place for forbidden knowledge of the ancient Egyptians, while others believe it might have been a special room for some kind of unknown technology that we have not yet discovered. But ultimately, what is the truth behind these discoveries? Well, these discoveries raise a very big question. Was ancient Egypt much more advanced than we think? Is it possible that they were in contact with an unknown civilization or even aliens? Or maybe, perhaps, we still do not understand history sufficiently well enough and need to find a new way to look at the past. your opinion? In my opinion, parts like the Antikythera mechanism, hieroglyphs, and the discovery of the hidden chamber are completely real and fascinating. They truly show that ancient humans were much smarter than we thought. But parts like wireless electricity transmission, communication with aliens, stars that can only be seen with modern telescopes, and cave paintings with future information still lack scientific evidence. But well, if everything were clear and transparent, there would be no mystery or excitement. These theories are intriguing because they give wings to the imagination. They make us look at history again with the eyes of a curious child. Considering these new discoveries in the Egyptian pyramids, we must admit that history has always been full of mysteries, but each new discovery opens a fresh window to the past. If the pyramids were truly some kind of advanced energy system, it means we still have a lot to learn. In fact, the highly advanced infrastructure of the Egyptian pyramids shows that our past was much more complex than we thought. To the extent that some experts even believe that the eye and pyramid symbols on the US dollar refer to this subject and are actually signs of mysterious forces that understood and controlled energy systems. Of course, some others say that this symbol is originally a Christian emblem from the Middle Ages, representing the presence of God everywhere. Later, during the Age of Enlightenment in Europe, it was used as a symbol of knowledge, awareness, and oversight of the world. The incomplete pyramid symbolizes the power and stability of the newly established country, and the eye symbolizes divine guidance. We must wait and see what time will prove.